let's do this program about constant. But before that, I want to show you this while loop with a semicolon at the end. The severe consequences of this is that it becomes an endless loop. We discussed this in the previous video, but I want to show you. The reason is this semicolon is telling the system it's a statement which is doing nothing. So it's an empty statement. And that is the loop body because it is right after this while condition. Even though you intend this to be the loop body, to the compiler, that's not. This is the loop body. Therefore, the count is never updated because this statement is never reached. So count is not updated, it's 0 always, and therefore this condition is true always, and therefore the code will run forever. Let's see. You can see it runs, but it's not doing anything because of the empty statement. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Now let's do this problem. Do the previous program with a constant named number of times and initialize it to 5. So we will just do that, okay? We declare a variable named a constant, that's the keyword, constant, and then followed by the data type and number of times. For a constant, it's always uppercase, all caps. And if you have multiple words, you use underscore to connect them, just like this. Okay, and we initialize it to 5. And a constant, once it's declared and initialized, you cannot change it anymore. You cannot say number of times is now equal to 6. You cannot do that. Once it's declared and initialized, no change can be done to it. So because of that, we have a count here, right? So this will be the loop control variable that will change, and this will really be the sentinel value that will be the goal. So here, instead of 5, we will change it to number of times, double click, and delete that semicolon. And that's it. So this is the loop control variable that's going to change, and this is the sentinel value, or the value that you are trying to reach, the value to look out for. And here we do the same, but here we just need to change it to number of times. Okay, so now let's run. Okay, so, and you can see it runs beautifully. Well, why do we need to use a constant? The good thing, the benefit of a constant is it's less error prone. You know, here you just use the constant name. So sometimes you might mistakenly enter a 6 or 7 or 8. But if you initialize it here, it's 5, then you use the variable name, it's less error prone. Another thing is if you need to run it this time, let's say 3 times, you just need to change this one place, 3. And no other changes are necessary because this now becomes 3 and this becomes 3. So if you run it, it will run only 3 times. It will ask you to enter 3 scores. Okay, that's the benefit of this constant, and it's also easier to read. So immediately you know, oh, I'm trying to reach that number of times. Another thing to stress is that once it's done, you cannot change it. For example, you cannot say number of times minus minus. You cannot do that. And you can see it tells you it's wrong, right? It's a constant. Expression must be a modifiable value. That means the number of times is not modifiable. So that is that. That's it for this program.